It's the Eagle Community Television Forum with your host, Gary Shorman.
Welcome to Eagle Community Television. I'm Becky Kaiser. This is the Forum. I'm substituting for Gary Sherman. And of course, we always want to make sure that we thank Hayes Med for the opportunity to do the program. Our special guest today is probably a familiar face to most of you, Jacob Ternes, who is the Assistant Director of the Memorial Union. We're going to talk about Encore, the spring season, which is right around the corner, believe it or not, 2019. But Jacob, you have some other responsibilities at Fort Hays State besides taking care of Encore. Tell us a little bit about those.
Yeah, so my title is Assistant Director of the Memorial Union, but underneath that I wear several different hats. I oversee our Center for Student Involvement and provide support to our student organizations. I'm involved with a lot of the campus activities on campus, the University Activities Board, like comedians and hypnotists and music acts. And then I chair the Special Events Committee, which is the group on campus that's responsible for the Encore series. So that's, actually I'm just the chair, but there's a huge committee involved, 20 faculty, staff, and students who are involved in making the decisions to bring all these great shows to our campus and our community.
And the great thing about it is those people are varied with varied interests, and the Encore especially just has such a wide variety of opportunities and types of entertainment, to something for everybody.
Yeah, absolutely. We had a meeting on Friday just this past week, and that was one of the things I told the committee, is that I thrive on the feedback that they give me, because the person who's been on the committee for 30 years has a different take than the person who just joined last spring, and our students have a different perspective, and some people like the dance and some people like the theater, and so it's important to take all those different opinions and elements together to make a season that's going to appeal to a wide audience.
And how do you get notification that some of these are going to be available? Do you get to see them in person?
Sure, yeah, so there's a couple of conferences that I travel to just based on our budget and what we're able to do. I usually go every other year, and that gives us a pretty good idea of what's up and coming, what's happening. There's also a group of universities and presenting organizations that collaborate. It's something called the Plains Presenters, so that's an email group that I'm a part of, and they do phone-in meetings to talk about what's happening and what's going through our area. And then agents, they're trying to sell you something, so
sure.
they're always reaching out. Hey, this is the hottest new thing. Like, take a look at this. So, we try to balance that all together, and we're really lucky here because being in the center of the country, right on on 70, we are able to bring some high quality acts that we wouldn't be able to afford, but they're coming from Denver to Kansas City, or they're on their way from the West Coast to the East Coast, and so our location really helps us out too.
Yeah, I was going to ask you about that, because you said we are right in the middle, and a lot of times they're going from one point to the other, so that gives them an opportunity for another presentation, and gives us the opportunity to see them and save a little bit of money.
Yeah, absolutely. So some of these shows, they're able to fly because they just have a little bit of stuff, but our big musicals, they take 3 semi trucks to get across the country, and so you have to be in a location that's going to work for them, or they're
sure.
not even going to. It doesn't matter how much you want to pay them; they're not going to come to us.
And aren't we fortunate to have Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Center to accommodate that?
Oh, absolutely. It's that venue's got its limitations from a technical side of view, but it's so beautiful. It's such a great location. All of the acts always compliment on the way it looks, and our tech people and our audiences, and so I think sometimes they think, well, what, Hays, Kansas, what the heck is that? But then they get here and they're like, wow, holy cow, this is amazing. So that always makes us feel good.
Okay, so now everybody out there wants to know, how do they get your job to go around and meet all these people and decide what kind of entertainment is going to come to Hays and Fort Hays State?
Sure. So my route to Encore was a little bit different. I don't come from a performing arts background at all, really. So I went to Emporia State University for my undergraduate degree, and I always tell people, don't get too mad at me for that. Sorry. I've been here at Fort Hays for a while now.
We still like you.
But I planned on being an educator. I was going to be a high school history teacher, and then working through college, I decided I liked the college atmosphere, so I got involved in my fraternity as an undergrad, and then went to K-State for my master's degree, and came to Fort Hays as the coordinator for fraternity and sorority life. And then a couple years later, my predecessor left, and I applied for a promotion. And so I come from a student involvement background, and so there's a lot of comparisons between planning a campus program or planning a big event and then planning the Encore series. So I think that's where my skill set has been helpful, is how do we make a good event? How do we make the experience good for our patrons? And then I'm learning a lot about the arts piece of it, what makes a good show.
Well, it does take a lot of planning, no doubt about it. What's your favorite part in this role?
I like working with the committee and bringing all those different ideas together, but then really I enjoy making the events happen. the day of, meeting the performers and working with the technical crew to make sure all the lights and sound and everything. I mean, I know very little about all that technical stuff, but seeing it come together, and a lot of people don't realize that when these big musicals or big shows come to campus, they're usually here the day before, or at very least like 7 a.m. the morning of. It takes a full 12 to 14 hours to get everything ready to go. So seeing that happen and seeing all the work that goes into it, and then seeing the show that night is really rewarding.
So some of the behind the scenes work and a peek into that, and then the topping on the cake, of course, is seeing the performance.
Yeah, absolutely.
Fun.
And then hearing what people think about it afterwards is always great.
And that's something that you do like to hear from people, is what they thought about it, and what they, maybe if they didn't like it, if they have another suggestion. You do take all that into consideration.
We do, yeah. So after every show, we always post a link up on our Facebook page, or it's just a quick 2 to 3 minute survey. It's about 10 questions that people can answer and let us know what they thought and how is their service, and what suggestions do they have. And then at the end of each year, we do a bigger survey where people can give us ideas for shows to bring in the future.
Wonderful. Well, we're going to take a quick break. When we come back, we're going to talk about the shows that will be part of Encore for the spring 2019 session right after this.
Hayes Med is your first and best choice for healthcare. They're the only facility providing tertiary level services in this region. With more than 70 physicians and 26 specialties ranging from heart, orthopedic, spine care, cancer, obstetrics and gynecology, wound care, rehabilitation and surgery, including the Da Vinci robotic surgery, Hayes Med is your comprehensive health provider for people throughout Western Kansas. Hayes Med, helping people be healthy.
Eagle Communications is your ultimate business partner. We provide business class phone with customizable features and fast, reliable internet. Your knowledgeable team at Technology Solutions has a broad base of IT services to meet your needs. Let the experts at Marketing Solutions get your message to the right people on the best platforms. The only piece missing is your business. Call Eagle Communications today at 877-61-EAGLE.
Hi everyone, this is Gerard Welbrock inviting you to join us for Tiger Talk. We record it over the noon hours Mondays at Old Chicago, north of the interstate in Hayes, and play back at 6 o'clock Monday nights on Tiger Radio Mix 103. You can also catch it on Eagle TV's channel 14 and 614, Tuesday and Wednesdays at 10 a.m. and 7 p.m., and always on HayesPost.com. So join us for Tiger Talk over the noon hour Mondays at Old Chicago.
Welcome back to the Eagle Community TV Forum. I'm Becky Kaiser. Our show, of course, is brought to us by Hayes Med. I'm substituting for Gary Shorman. If you have an idea for him about what might make a great forum idea interview, get a hold of him at gary.shorman@eaglecom.net. Of course, you can always find us on Facebook. So again, we have Jacob Ternes with us from Fort Hays State University to talk about the Encore Series Spring 2019, which is right around the corner. Before I forget, though, as we go into the Christmas season, wouldn't tickets to this make some great gifts for people?
That's absolutely right. We know we've gotten a couple of calls of that here in the last couple of days, and it's not quite out on our website yet, but we will have a season ticket package available. And season tickets are always the way to go because it's a little bit cheaper of a price. You can get all 4 shows for a great value, and it does. We've got one of our shows, Rock of Ages, had a perfect picture for a postcard, so it's a group rocking up front and some people in choir robes behind them. So putting out a little image that says you can rock the holiday season by giving the gift of Encore.
Oh, that's perfect. That's perfect. Well, let's talk about what's coming up. A couple of those great big musicals we were talking about before the break, and I have to say I have not seen Rent, and I'm so excited that it's coming. And this is 20 years already.
I know. Yeah, that's right. So it's the Rent 20th anniversary tour, which actually this is the 21st year of the show, but they've been on tour for over a year,
okay.
So it's still the 20th anniversary tour for them. They haven't stopped. They haven't taken a break. But yeah, this musical's been around, 1996, 97, whatever that came out, and I mean, I think it's a pretty well-known performance, telling the story of some struggling artists and how they cope and deal with their everyday lives.
And whether you're at that age now or you were that age, pretty much everybody can identify with that, I think.
Yeah, and we're reading a lot of the reviews, and people are saying that even if you don't really remember that period, like there's still a lot of messages about love and teamwork and friendship that really transcend all the ages.
And great music, great music.
Absolutely.
Okay, so now this Rock talk of ages, we're talking big hair bands here. This is great. I'm looking forward to this one as well.
That's right. Yeah, we've gotten a lot of positive feedback about this through social media and through some phone calls in our office. But yeah, I mean, we're bringing a big time rock show to our stage, and I mean, obviously there's a storyline in here, but it's a lot of the music that some of our older, not too old of our audience members, but some of our people will appreciate.
Hey, people from the 80s, that
right.
in that heyday, they're not old.
They're not too old, no.
Okay,
No.
okay. So, as they say, hits from bands such as Styx, Poison, Twisted Sister, Whitesnake, the big hair bands,
Yeah,
the great
exactly.
guys. So that's going to be a lot of fun. We'll look forward to that one. That's coming up in Tuesday, March 5th, and of course, we start up in February 1st for Rent. And then, how fun is this one going to be? From Havana, Cuba, All-Stars, their friendship tour.
That's right. Yeah. So the Havana Cuba All Stars, we're going to bring a little Latin flair to our series. So this is a group that travels with live musicians, dancers. It's going to have a lot of bright colors up on stage. If you look at our season image, this gentleman with the nice red pants, he is a member of the Havana Cuba All Stars. So we were pretty excited about that. We always choose one picture every year to be our image, and this show just has got great energy, great culture, and so we're excited to have that.
And that'll be March 24th, which in this part of Kansas, we could have a blizzard that day, or it could be 80 degrees. But if it is snowing, we're going to think about how warm it is down there in Cuba, in Havana. It'll warm us up a little bit. And how fun is this? Is it Jig Jam? Am I saying that
Yep,
right?
Jig Jam,
live from Ireland, who are professionals in Irish bluegrass, which they're calling, what, Celt grass? Is that it?
Yep.
Kind of a blend of both genres then.
Yep. Yeah. So these are 4 guys, all from Ireland, and they kind of grew up performing Irish Celtic tunes, and then got a taste for the American bluegrass. So they've blended those together, and they call it Celt grass. But it's a great high energy show. I actually got to see these gentlemen at one of the conferences that I go to, and it was just a 15-minute snippet. But wow, their energy is amazing, and they're so talented. I think between the 4 of them, they play like 20 different instruments.
Oh my.
So their stage plot is going to be fairly simple to just be them, but they're going to be swapping out instruments and dancing on stage, and so it's going to be a very high energy show.
And that's going to be on Tuesday, April 16th. So ticket sales, and we talked about the idea of the season, and you can get them for the spring season, save a little bit of money. How do we get those tickets, Jacob?
Yeah, so the spring season ticket package, we expect that to go on soon, probably on sale, probably here in the next week or so. And so that is your way to guarantee seats for all 4 spring shows. The model that we follow is we only put individual show tickets on sale 2 weeks before the show. So if you don't buy that spring ticket package, you'll have to wait until the on sale date, which is about 2 weeks before. And so if you've seen these books across town, there is that on sale date listed. So for Rent, January 22nd will be that date. But you can always give us a call at 785-628-5306. Or stop by the Memorial Union, the student service desk can get tickets for you, or check out the website at fhsu.edu/encore.
And as a reminder, each show does start at 7:30.
That's right. Yep, 7:30 p.m. in the Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Center. So it's really nice. You don't have to worry about where you're going this week. We did actually have Frankenstein here just a week or so ago, and the company that produced it was called Aquila Theater. And so we had somebody call in and say, "I don't know where Aquila Theater is. Like, I'm used to going to the Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Center." They all are in the Beach Schmidt Performing Arts Centers, and they all start at 7:30.
Okay, super duper. Well, Jacob, thank you so much for joining us, and good luck with the spring season of Encore. Do you have some ideas about next year? Well, that'd be the fall of 2019.
We do. It's really a year-round process. So we just had a meeting on Friday, and we sorted through probably 20 different options, and there's some good stuff happening in 2019, 2020. So we're excited. It's still early. We don't really have those nailed down yet, but lots of good options.
Well, we'll look forward to that as well. Thank you so much. Jacob Ternes has been joining us from Fort Hays State University, talking about the 2019 spring session of Encore at Fort Hays State University. Thank you, Jacob, for joining us. I'm Becky Kaiser for the ECTV Forum.